Recording started? Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for all of you for coming to i.W.A.I.T. If this is your first i.W.A.I.T. event, I'm warned. Uh, i.W.A.I.T. is I'm warned, and it's today with friends, where I invite all of my wonderful friends, DJs, dancers, and all that to come in and just enjoy a fabulous Thursday, sometimes Saturday and night, just rocking out and having some good tunes and good company. At this point in time, we go ahead and interview the DJs. So the DJs that we had today, we started off with the amazing PuppoBandit with his awesome trance.
Thank you. Hello.
The following that was the super stupendous Stardust
I appreciate it.
with the jungle and breakcore. And wrapping up the evening and turning the energy up to 11, we have Indecraftable, also known as Indie.
Yeah, hello.
All right. So, what started you wanting to DJ? We're going to start off in the order of the lineup. So, Puppo, what started you into wanting to DJ?
When I was in my early 20s, I met an amazing group of people who were a part of a crew called the Ruby Crew. There were trance DJs, just partiers. I'd go to party with them, go back to their house parties. And one very long night, I was sitting on the floor with one of the DJs, and he was playing a song, and he was teaching me about music. And I just asked him, teach me how to DJ. And I spent many, many hours in his house using his CDJ 900s, just practicing trance music, DJing in general.
Nice.
That's how I got started, by just becoming friends with DJs.
Awesome. How long ago was that?
About 15 years ago.
We have an old guard.
So, yeah, great gray muzzle DJ.
I honestly think there's only one DJ that I know of in this room that may have you on time, and that's Defcon.
Oh, okay.
Also known as Sen. All right. How about you, Shai? What got you into DJing, and how long have you been DJing for?
So I got into DJing. Well, I got into the idea of DJing like when I was like 14. Got into EDM. I love the idea of DJing, but I like never did it because I thought it was like way too hard, and I didn't want to try it. And I literally just asked Misha one night on Discord. I was like, "Hey, what do I do to get started DJing? I've been wanting to do this since I was like a kid. Like, what do I do?" And he just linked me 2 videos and said, "Have at it." And so I had at it, and now here I am. And that was 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing amount of skill for such a short time.
oh, thank you.
You're
I tried
welcome.
really hard. So,
Well, keep up the good, keep up the practice, keep up the work. All right, Andy. What started you wanted to DJ, and how long you been DJing for?
Yeah, so I've been DJing just around like the same time when Shy started DJing. Like we started around the same time. But the way I got into it was completely different. Like I was visiting my friend's apartment one day, and I noticed they get like DJ 400s in there. I've never DJed before. And the person who had it didn't know how to DJ either. He got it for the pandemic. So we both just loaded up Record Box, and then we also just loaded up like top 100 house tracks, and then try to figure out what each like knob does, crossfaders, all that, how to transition, try to figure out from there. And I was kind of hooked after that. He let me borrow his DJ decks for a while, so then I was able to DJ with his decks for a while. And I guess I got into hardstyle hardcore because I noticed DEFCON's Kangaroo set back at like HFF Hawaii. I remember specifically walking in exactly at the time when they were doing a fitness move. I don't know if you remember that video. Yeah, exactly. And I heard the genre. I thought that was really cool, so I just wanted to DJ that for a while. So yeah, I got into the genre and DJ.
Awesome.
Was that the one where the stage was the PlayStation 1 with the fold-out screen?
Yeah, exactly. With this, I think
Yeah, the PlayStation 1.
the PlayStation one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what genres do you currently DJ, and what other genres have you tried to DJ? Whoever wants to answer
So
first.
also
Nope, you can go, Papa.
me. I DJ uplifting trance, progressive trance, melodic trance, vocal trance. I'm kidding. I do house. I like I like big room,
Ooh, big room. Yes.
progressive house, techno. Recently, I got into electro swing due to Stitcheroo,
Yeah.
and I can do that as well. Love it. It's so much fun.
All right. Who wants to
Yeah, I
answer
love
next?
electro swing. I'll go next. I can do right now like breakcore, jungle, that kind of like mix of genres. Most of the songs aren't even labeled as anything really. They're like labeled as some garbage on SoundCloud, and you're like, cool. But pretty much just, if it fits, and it works in that. And then I recently got into like heavier dubstep, rhythm, and hardcore as well. So
Nice. And how about you, Andy? What you said? Probably DJ'd house and then hard dance. What else you got?
Yeah. So right now I DJ hardcore hardstyle, which is basically hard dance. But I want to get into more genres with that. So like rhythm, dubstep, um, breakcore. I've been getting into drum and bass a lot recently because of Valent. I really love this sets and all that. Other than that, oh, techno. Techno has been really good to me lately. Slick sets were really good, and I thought it sounded really cool. So those are the genres I get into.
Nice. All right. So I heard like DJs, every one of us probably has, a deck of some sort. Most of us are on the DJJ 400 to start off with. Some of us maybe a new Mark Party Mix. What set are you currently using? If you are using a DJ deck, and if you're using keyboard and mouse, that's perfectly fine. Which software are you using?
Can I go last?
Okay,
Because
yeah,
I always forget what I have.
We'll have you go last.
Should we go backwards this time?
Yeah, okay, Indy, you go first.
we'll have Andy go first.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's your basic DDJ 400 with the included record box stuff. So, yeah.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, don't replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm currently on a SB3 using Serato Pro at the moment, but I hope to be getting a NV2 soon from Newmark. So we'll see.
Nice. And the SP3 is basically just the throttle version of the DDJ 400, right?
Yeah, basically, it's got just like very slight different positions of dials, but everything is pretty much the same.
Yeah. And then Puppo's just quickly writing down what his equipment is.
You know what? I DJ on something. I can't find it. I sent a message to Jahari to tell him what I had because I like opened up the. It's in a crate, so it's nice and protected.
Nice.
So I'm never looking at the model number, and I got it about a year ago. I do apologize. It is a Pioneer controller with a little screen in it.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh yeah, the screen ones, they have confusing names. They're like never the same.
Yeah,
It's like XDJ something.
I miss the days when it was just DDJ something.
Nice. And what did you guys start off with? So I'm guessing Stardust and Indecraft are on their beginning decks, which is perfectly fine. I'm currently still using the DDJ 400, so it's perfectly acceptable.
Amazing. That's a good controller.
Very good controller, very cheap. If you want to start off DJing, $250 gets you prepped and ready for DJing live. If you want to go to a club and such, because that's about the standard club layout. What did you start off with? What CDJ was it that you started off with?
I started on CDJ 900s. And you literally had to burn CDs back in those days. Back in the day, you burned CDs. And you would walk
I
the
wish
club
I
with a
could do
big bag
that.
of CDs. Way better.
That sounds fun.
CDJ is exactly like digital DJing. Identical. The only
This sounds
difference
like
is
so
that
much
you shove a
fun.
disc in.
You probably
Yeah, it's
get
fun.
Stacks and stacks of CDs
Did-
though.
Did it have?
I still do.
Did it have like beat map or the beat mapping at all, or did you have to do it all by ear?
You'd have to do it all by ear. You'd put an SD card in the CDJ, so that way we'll store like what BPM it is, and we'll store your cue points in it. So you would have to carry SD cards as well to shove into the CDJ.
Man, I am so
Jesus.
yeah, I'm so glad now we
Yeah.
just get a laptop or a computer, plug it in controller. There we go.
Much better now. Don't be afraid of the sync button. Sync button is your friend as long as you've got your beat grid set up properly. Gives you
Yeah.
more time to focus on other things. Because when I first started DJing, I would spend literally 1 or 2 minutes trying to beat match the song when I could have been doing something else. Hyping up the crowd, playing with the flanger, whatever, picking the next song.
Nice. Yeah, and that actually leads on to kind of the next line of question. Like, what advice would you give to a person who wants to do a DJ, or even since you've been in the game for long, what would you give like a intermediate DJ who wants to maybe bring up their game?
Only put songs in your bag that you like, or is like a crowd pleaser, can break that rule. But generally, if you're not having fun playing music, then your crowd's not going to have fun either.
That is definitely true. And then as far as like since both of you start relatively new, you can either give some tips that you know what new DJs, or like what things when you're starting off with did you wish other people told you?
I would say don't be afraid to pick up a party mix as your first deck. I had it for like only like 2 weeks, and then I returned it to Guitar Center to pick up a better one. But like, don't be afraid to pick it up because it was actually like quite nice. It wasn't. I mean, it feels kind of crummy once you get like a nice Pioneer, but in terms of like starting off, it's got everything that you need, and you're starting off anyway, so you might as well get the simple one and mess around with it. But as much as I love my SB3, definitely just get a DJJ 400 because it's gonna match the club gear way more. And so like, as someone who's starting off, if I ever go to like a club and all that, I'm gonna have to like relearn where everything is, like way harder than like indie would, for example. And it's kind of a struggle. Like the SB3 is really nice and you get it really cheap used, but that like switch up is kind of a pain.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you with that because I actually DJ at my local club. Like they have like open deck nights at like in my college. So like I was just thrown onto CDJ 2000s. I'm like, oh no, what do I do? But I just looked at the controller. I'm like, oh, it's really similar to the DJJ 400.
Yep.
So it worked out in the end.
Yeah, like there's a
It
play
only
button.
took like 10 minutes to figure out. Yeah, exactly.
As
It
the
only
DJ,
took like 10 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, all DJ needs to know is where that play button is.
Yeah.
That's all we do, right? We hit play and walk away,
Pretty much.
and then we come back and hit play again. on the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go have a little dance.
I actually only hit play once, and then I just pretend to hit play for the rest of the set.
Yeah.
putting that Serato auto mix to work.
There you go.
I've seen an actual DJ use auto mix.
Ooh,
Getting
Oh,
paid $75 an
no.
hour to just make a
Oh.
playlist.
Oh no.
that is the life though. $75 an
Jealous.
hour just to have an auto mix.
Yeah.
Living the
Just
life.
standing there adding them to a playlist. And I was talking to him about it as well, so asking what he was doing and stuff, and like, okay. If that's what he wants to do and they're paying him for it, it didn't sound terrible, so did a good job.
Yeah.
And that's the key, as long as it doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah, as long as it sounds good, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other questions I usually ask. Oh, so as far as like, since you're gray muzzle, and well, I'm also as far as
Mhm.
age wise, I'm gray muzzle, but not as far as DJing goes. How do you deal with haters? Like
Yeah.
somebody who's just up in your face, trying to bust your balls. How do you deal with it?
Surprisingly, I haven't had that many haters at all. I have told someone to fuck off before. Well, I was, I was a club DJ. But yeah, I don't recommend you do that. But yeah, I'll be honest, I've never really had any haters. Just rude patrons telling you to play something else. This one person said the best thing to me. He walks up to the DJ booth and he says, "Do you know what everyone would love? Everyone would love it if you played Cher." Everyone would, apparently.
Everybody.
Maybe he calls his dick everyone.
I think he wanted it, but like, you know what? That's fine. You can ask in nicer ways. You could say, "Hey, could you play Cher for me?" Be nice about it. You don't have to put it like, like that.
Indeed.
But I wish I could give you better advice, but I guess maybe just don't get haters if it's possible.
Yep.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, play all the safe genres. There, you'll never get haters.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Play every song everybody ever wants to hear.
play
I haven't been doing that.
play the top 50 of house. You'll be fine.
I'm losing it.
Oh my God. Also, don't forget to throw in a few like Daft Punks and a few Sandstorms.
Hells
No, yeah. I gotta learn to start doing that. I've been playing the like 20 like songs on SoundCloud recently. I gotta up my game, I think.
Yeah, just go to like SoundCloud and like, oh, what's the top 20 songs currently? Oh, let's just put that in a set. Actually, that would be an interesting challenge.
I feel like that'd be way harder than you imagine.
Yes.
It can be. Good.
You go from like, you go from like, what would be a slow song, like rap, and all the way like death metal. Does that work? Can you even do that? I guess anything could be possible, right?
Yeah, you could. A lot of that would probably be either switching on the drop or waiting for a lull in the song and a build up of the other song and bringing them in.
That's true.
But like one thing that's kind of fun is like I do sometimes is I will just go to, since I got Beatport Link, I have access to every streamable song on Beatport, and I'll just open up Beatport Link and go to the top 100 lists, generate a beat grid, and then so I can at least get the keys and then it's mix blind. It's fun.
Hells yeah. I often do like big Beatport hauls where I'll buy like at least 30 songs and then just on stream just go through and just listen to all of the music and just DJ it on the fly.
So
handy.
very handy. Where do you guys get your music?
I get mine right now from just SoundCloud. SoundCloud goes pretty nice for that fact. I don't like that I have to like favorite all of them to put them all in there because then it's like my actual favorites list if I ever want to use it in the future is like busted, but it's pretty nice.
Have you
That's
tried adding
where I get it all right now.
Have you tried adding them to a playlist? Because in SoundCloud, you can actually add them to playlists, and the playlist will import over to. At least they do it virtual DJ. I think they should do it to Serato as well.
I haven't tried that. I will give that a shot and hope that works. Because I'm pretty sure right now they're all just in my likes, but I don't really remember. I just kind of blind go through and add them all once I get like a whole list of songs that I listen to, and I'm like, yeah, these are all good. And just blind go through.
Nice. How about you, Puppo or Indy? Where do you get your tracks from?
Very not legal. I'm broke, so I can't afford like the good high quality track. So you gotta be a Yarhar pirate sometimes. But yeah, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that fun stuff.
When I was a young warthog, I did get my music illegally as well. there were websites that would just post releases of music and you download the MP3.
Napster,
And
LimeWire.
when if you don't have any money, you resort to certain things. These days I get most of my music from Beatport. One very good tip with Beatport is usually at the end of the month, they do 30% off. So, over the month, just add things into your cart, and then when you get the email about 30% off, bam, go for it. If it's not on Beatport, I do try the iTunes Music Store. If it's not on the iTunes Music Store, I will look for a CD. If I can't get a CD, I might resort back to my old ways. I don't have a vinyl record player. I would love to learn, but when I use like my controllers and CDJs, vinyl mode goes off. So I don't know how I'll go with real plastic.
Oh, that'd be an interesting idea because, DJing with CDs or vinyl. Imagine somebody just being oddball and DJing with 8-tracks.
Oh my god! There's I actually saw a video recently. There's a DJ who DJs with cassette tapes, and he
I saw that
has
video
a
too.
custom thing. Oh my god! It came up in my recommended. I'm assuming a lot of DJs probably saw it. I was amazed by his custom cassette controller. He was scratching with fucking cassettes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have no idea how that works, but
insane.
apparently it does.
Yeah.
Apparently does. Just
Nice.
magnets.
Magnets.
Oh my god.
Game
That
Boys?
sounds like a dream come true.
Oh wait, yeah, you can do like MIDI out on like the Game Boys using custom controllers, and you can like load up games and stuff like that and rip the audio files. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was like a big thing not too long ago.
That's pretty cool. Now, for the question that I always love to ask, because it kind of makes the DJs have to think. If you were able to send a message back in time, a la Steins Gate, to yourself when you were just starting off DJing, what message would you send back?
Who wants to go first?
So, six months ago, huh?
6 months ago, yeah.
Months ago. Don't do it. You're gonna change your
Don't
life.
buy an SB3, buy a DDJ 400. I don't know.
That's actually potentially a good one.
Yeah.
I would have
Wait, can
preferred
you
to
repeat the
send a
question?
message back to my 14-year-old self and tell myself to pursue my dreams rather than go, that's too hard.
Just do it.
Same
Don't
here.
let your
Like,
dreams
when
be
you-
dreams.
Yeah, just do it. It's not as hard as you think, and even if it is hard for you at first, just keep trying and you'll get there. Because I don't know, I thought I was going to be garbage at it, and I mean, obviously sometimes I like listen to my stuff back and I'm like, that's garbage. I'm garbage at this, but you get places and you get better and you grow, and I'm here, so
Yep.
I remember specifically when I was 8 years old, I got really into DJing, like not I guess turntablism specifically, but also my cousin actually owns a wedding business and he's like a pro DJ himself. So he has the whole shebang. He has the CDJ 200, 2000 Nexuses and all that, played around with that, and I thought that was kind of cool, but I didn't pursue anything more than that. I should have done that too more because then I don't know. Playing on Pro Gear was just so much fun, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
I would say don't give up. When things go really, really wrong. I had a massive computer crash, lost all of my music at one point.
Ooh.
This was like 7 years ago. Lost everything, and I literally just gave up. It's like thinking like I'm never going to rebuild my record box library. I'm never going to. And then after like 3 years of not DJing, I just sat down and went into record box and just redid all of the tags and resorted everything and did all the shit I had to do to get back into it.
And you are definitely glad that you did, right?
Absolutely. I missed it a lot. I missed doing it. And just because my thing broke, I didn't have to give up. Even if you permanently lost all your music, you can still get music.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never give up.
Yeah.
All right. So if people were to, want to listen to your sets, other sets, or follow you, what are your socials? Like, what's your Twitter, your Mixcloud? If you have a Mixcloud, if you have a YouTube, what's a YouTube? If you stream on Twitch, what's your Twitch? We'll go in the order of the lineup. Puppo, how about yourself?
Okay, yeah. So you can find me on everything at PuppoBandit. Twitter is my main social media besides VR chat. I stream on Twitch every week. I do a music video show where you can come request tracks. I also DJ, and I'm recently doing art. Mixcloud, PuppoBandit, YouTube, PuppoBandit. On YouTube, you can find a video of the Frality set that I took. But go look at the actual Club Fin videos too.
Nice. And for those who could go ahead and spell it PuppoBandit, just for those who may not know it's spelled.
PuppoBandit.
There we go.
It might be a bit quick.
It's gonna eventually. I'll get off my lazy button, upload this to YouTube, so they can just hit the left arrow to go back. All right, Stardust. How about yourself?
So pretty much everywhere, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, and Twitter, it's ShyVRC, ShyVRC. You can also find me on YouTube, but I don't have like a link or anything like that. So you're more than welcome to go to my Twitter, and my link tree is there, and it's got my YouTube as well. So I put all the visualizers and all that there. SoundCloud has my favorite mixes because I can only upload 3. Because I don't want to pay for premium. I don't know why that's 2 separate services, but and then Mixcloud has all of them, all the sets, even some old terrible ones under Shy. Don't listen to those; they're bad. But, yeah.
Nice. And that's Shy VRC.
Yep. Well, it's kind of complicated, but. My Twitter is under a different name, not Indecraftable, but it's under syntax_runtime because that's what my first seed name is. I first seed as a protogen. I'm one of those protogen suitors, so that's fun. But you could also find me on Mixcloud. Yeah, you can find me on Mixcloud under Indecraftable, INDECRAFTABLE, and that's where you find all my sets. Don't have a YouTube, unfortunately. No SoundCloud. But that's
And posting stuff for the YouTube is a crapshoot. A lot of time to get the dreaded well, you're never going to get monetized on YouTube, much less you get the copyright strike where you get the one track that cannot be played. Well, there goes that entire set. All right. Any last words or any last things you want to say to the audience or people who might be watching this in the future?
Yeah. I've got one thing. The set you heard today that I played is a recording of what I played at Aurora over the weekend. Aurora is a new Sydney furry convention. It was its first official year after not being able to open during COVID. I was so happy to relive the weekend. I had many good moments.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
And thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. Thank you so much, all 3 of you, for coming. Yeah. I.W.A.I.T.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Honestly, if it was just me DJing weekly, I'd be bored. I'd probably get bored of my own stuff. But it's always nice to just hear, other wonderful DJs, how they mix and kind of figure out what makes them tick. Do you have any final things to say, Stardust?
Not really. I just appreciate everyone coming, hanging out, and listening to our mixes. It's awesome that I get to be up here. It's awesome that I get invited to play places. I never thought I'd be invited anywhere. I thought I'd just mix some stuff and then be like, cool, that's awesome, and then stop. But it's awesome to be here, so I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Indeed. How about yourself?
Thank you for having. Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing me to DJ. It's just been a fun time, and my mom made it.
Yep. And we need to have you DJing
Hi,
more
Mom.
often. You should apply for like Five
Yeah,
Night
I
or placeholder club.
I should. Oh, placeholder. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, probably send in my application.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should do that.
Yeah, they'll be opening up applications again sometime soon. I don't know exactly when, but just keep an eye out.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. With that, until next week, we all wait together.